Hello, everybody, and I'm Dan Hollifield, and this is Last Man Standing. Thank you very much for your kind and generous attention. We are part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, and let me flash up that card right now. There is any further ado, let me see here. We've got Chris and Bill, and Joe Dog is kind of off screen at the time. And here we got Josh. And there's Joe Dog. So
Dan, when you just did that read, I don't know what happened, but your voice went away.
Yeah, audio cut out for
yeah.
it might have gone because of the everybody's volume down because of the video. So I don't know. It's all right. I will. First time I get up and take a piss, I'll play one of the ads.
Okay. No, I just jumped in for a few minutes, to just say, tell everybody good night. And I didn't get a chance. We had to cut out so quick. I didn't get to say thank you to you guys for dropping in, helping with the show tonight.
Well, Joe D and Michaela would have been welcome to pop in too if they had time, and it's just late nights or a thing that not many people are up for. So in several senses of the word, but it's.
I'm hoping Ace will pop in one night.
Oh yeah, well Ace said he would. Ace said he was going to pop in. So
all right,
he did on audio.
All right, I'm gonna jump out of here. Josh just hit the wrong button again, so I'm gonna get that and actually message him. There he is. There's Michaela.
Hey, I'm back. There I is. Okay, let me go get a drink, and I'll be right back. I promise.
All right.
Okay. And here we have somebody else pinging in. Okay, here's Josh back.
Okay, Josh is back.
Okay.
Trying to get audio fixed.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, I just wanted to drop in and tell you guys thank y'all for being part of the show. And because I try my best to say that on every show. Sometimes I forget, and I apologize for that.
Well, sometimes you for having time, like tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, and thank you for.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah,
you have done an amazing job with getting Stupid O'Clock off the ground and running Armchair Rocket Science at the same time. And I mean, last week was it Thursday night?
Thursday night
when we had the rocket launch that was not quite as happy an ending as we would have wished.
No,
but
it did better than what a lot of people thought it would do. So
hey, from 4 years to blueprint the first launch, they did some incredible work there, and we wish them well for the next attempt.
Yeah.
I actually got to experience it on a Thursday night for a change.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, actually, I saw some video from a different angle. The rocket did a flip and a half before they blew it up. It didn't.
So did they terminate it?
It was terminated.
Okay.
It was terminated by rain. The Air Force blew it up. Firefly had a button and the Air Force had a button. When it hit that first flip, the Air Force said, "Nope, you're done."
Mm-hmm. And that is not censorship; that is caution.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that was at Vandenberg, right? Yeah, that was at Vandenberg going across California.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of precautions going that way.
Vandenberg is really, really close to the coast. So, by the time that thing got airborne, it was already over the ocean.
Yeah.
It was out of danger of falling on any city.
Well, depending on which turns it took.
Yeah. Well,
if it starts pinwheeling, you got to worry about whether or not it's going to boomerang. So,
yeah.
Well, now here's the thing: the explosion was so big, pieces did land on terra firma in the non-exclusion zone.
Wow.
People were chasing the parts to pick them up.
Collectors items.
Yeah, the problem.
I was going to say already on eBay.
No, the Air Force was right behind them, going, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you."
I'm sure they was worried about starting a wildfire too. So,
what's left to burn?
They
already incinerated the entire state.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that's still property of Firefly Aerospace. There's no salvage on aircraft. Even if it's at the bottom of the ocean, there's no salvage on it. When Jeff Bezos went down and brought back the stage from Stage 1 from Apollo 11, he brought it back on his barge and all that, and had news reporters and all that. And the guy from NASA handed him the papers and said, "Thank you very much for bringing it back to us."
Yep.
Here's a cookie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, once it hits this point, boom. No. That's our property.
It never stopped being their property. He just thought he was going to be able to claim it afterwards.
Yeah.
They were just saving money by letting somebody else retrieve it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it lifts off the ground, it's their property. So.
No, it's their property even before it lifts off the ground.
If they bring back Eagle, which is still, they have confirmed it is still in orbit.
Oh my God, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Which means Elon has a goal. If they bring back Eagle, it is NASA property.
Oh, wow.
It's going to wind up in the Smithsonian if we're lucky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So have a good night, Sarah. Thank you for popping in.
Oh, I forgot to go back to the comments. Here I am.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
I don't get to see them on the phone.
Well, with that, guys, I am going to duck out of here. I got a couple things I got to take care of before I go to bed. And Chris, holler at me tomorrow. We got to set a time up for you to pick up something to drop off for AJ.
Okay.
And Joe, I've got three names so far that we're not sure. We've narrowed it down to 3 or 4. So.
Well, go ahead and just start messaging them to me.
Yeah, I will.
Because
like I said, I don't want anybody like that in the network.
Yeah.
Definitely. Somebody pinged here. I don't think it was me.
No,
it was me. I think
wasn't me.
My phone's going off. I've got friends and I are looking through the list.
Yes. Well,
because we can't name names until we have proof. So
this is true.
But if you can narrow the focus to where you don't have to go through as much crap, it's always helpful.
And Dan, you already, I think you caught on to who I was thinking of. That would hurt our feelings if it was.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong.
No, you hope I'm wrong. Because I thought of it.
Yeah.
Well, this is true. This is true. Credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
And you can message me your idea, Joe, because I'm not tracking properly.
I don't think you know them.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's not something that somebody ought to have done in the first damn place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't tolerate a bully.
No, I don't either. I did that in high school. It will not happen again.
It's some bullshit.
I
It's bullshit. I don't know who it is, so.
Yeah. I let too much stuff slide back when I was in high school when I should have.
Yeah, but you didn't know any better.
Well, and I didn't want to get arrested either, because
Yeah.
that would have been the appropriate response, and it was a little more than what they deserved.
Yeah.
As far as attention being paid to them.
And sometimes acting right then in the heat of the moment, things can get out of hand.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
No matter how deserving they are of it.
Well,
nowadays,
sometimes
I try and get away with a cutting remark rather than an armed response.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it takes, though.
Right. I'm out of here, guys.
All right.
Y'all have a good one.
All right. Good night, Joe.
Have a good night.
Take care. I was always a good target for a bully growing up.
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about
moving from North Carolina to Illinois. You know, you're the new kid in town, the new kid in school, the new kid in the neighborhood. Then when they find out where you came from, then that kind of steps it up a notch a little bit on people picking on you.
Sit down.
And then where they find out what town you came from in North Carolina, then that steps it up even more. And
that's what I never figured out. I got made fun of where I lived, what I lived in, who I lived with. Like, I was a kid. I can't change that.
Right.
Like, how in the hell does a kid change where they live? You know,
but
like
you got no control over that.
Right,
That's your parents' business.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, but kids can be unbelievably cruel once they get past a certain age.
Right.
And they are brutal. And they don't care.
I can't tell you how many times I got beat up just for doing the homework and making good grades.
Me too.
And it wasn't by my family for slacking off and not making good grades and not doing the homework. It's because the kids that I was in school with go, "Oh, you ruined the grading curve.
Yes.
I can't goof off anymore and still get a C because you're here making A's and B's." And I'm going,
you're a fucking nerd. You're blah, blah,
right.
blah.
Yeah. We've all heard it. Yeah. So Joe said to tell you, Dan, that it is not the person you guys were thinking of.
Okay, good.
I just gave him 4 names that we've narrowed it down to. So.
All right, good. That
I hadn't been in this group.
Someone I thought was a friend from the list of possibilities.
Yeah, and it's sad that we even have to think about that. Like, who could it be?
I hadn't been in this group that long, so I might not know this person. So
probably not. You pretty much have to be
this
in the
list
convention sort of crowd.
4 names that I have. I don't know any of them other than I know one of them, but I've never met her at a convention. Like, I see her online. That's it. Like, she's just another author, and it's like, if it's her, I'm not losing anything by going delete.
Well, that's the best.
Had to do that with the Rising Tide person here not that long ago.
Right, and it's one of those. Yeah. We didn't lose anything by that. That's what killed me.
No,
like nothing was lost by that.
It kind of hurt a little bit because that same Rising Tide person helped me gain.
Hey, Ace.
Hi, Ace. Gain a lot of people on my artwork channel, but then when I found out what he was doing illegally with some other things and how he was defrauding people, that was it. It was block and delete or You know,
Yeah,
well, I blocked them.
And it's just sad that the world has come to that you just have to, no, I can't associate with you because you don't act correctly, act like a damn adult.
I mean, you basically have to vet every damn body.
Yeah, and it's getting ridiculous.
I have one basic rule: don't be a dick.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
that's it.
yeah.
Don't be a dick. That's it.
Unless your name's Richard.
even then, especially then.
Knew a guy named Richard Head. My brother used to call him Dick with ears.
Dickhead.
Yeah, Dickhead, Dick with ears, or Richard with ears.
Actually, I know a guy named Gilbert Head, and he's one of my absolute best friends. And he said his brother Richard had a really hard time growing up. And this is no joke. This is absolutely serious.
Oh yeah.
Because you know what kids are like. You've been one. You watched others. You experienced the good and the bad that people can be in not only adulthood, but during the long, hard slog to get there from being a child. Now, and as weird as my last name is, I'm not going to make fun of anybody else's. Let me tell you.
Well, just look at my last name.
Ain't nothing wrong with yours.
Y'all don't even go with the last name thing. Okay,
Yeah.
We're talking about getting bullied in school.
All right, we could attribute my last name to
my maiden name.
Germany and Austria. And
yeah.
Don't even worry about that. It's also a good British name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I'll just say it's been traced back to Austria.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. But no, my maiden name was horrible to have in school, so it's one of those. Like as soon as I got married, I was like, "Yay, a new last name!"
Well,
yay!
You know what? If you're familiar with the show Barney Miller, do you know what Hal Lemon's real name was? Harold Lipschitz.
Oh,
really? Okay.
Yeah, I'd change it too.
Yep. So his family was from Central Eastern Europe.
Probably so. Probably Austria or Germany or Prussia, some one of those regions in that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well.
Possibly Poland.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
No shame attached to that.
Yep.
Another Barney Miller reference. That's twice in one night now.
Yeah.
First about fish and now about Barney himself.
Yep. Oh, here we go, Ace.
Oh, nope, it's not that one. Okay.
Treat people how you want to be treated. That's the philosophy behind my life. And actually, no, I go one step further. I treat people better than I expect to be treated by other people.
Yeah.
Because I know what human nature is like, and I don't expect the best out of some people, but I expect parity out of most of the folks that I do interact with.
Well,
I like to trick or treat people.
Humanity don't treat you like you want. Anybody needs to be treated. Most of them.
Yeah, but that's no excuse to return the favor.
Okay, so now we've got it down to 3. Interesting.
Process elimination.
It is,
and then there were 3.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep.
And I'm proud to say that I am not friends with any of them.
That's good.
Good.
I'm good. I'm keeping good company. I'm good with that.
Agatha Christie's estate is going to send us a C&D anytime now. And then there were 1.
What you sipping on tonight, Michaela?
Actually, that's sweet tea.
Oh.
I'm a sweet tea junkie.
Really?
Yeah.
That wasn't what you were sipping on Friday night.
No, it wasn't.
No.
So
That's why it's gone now.
But before we go
what is
further,
your preferred poison of choice?
What's my preferred poison? Anything that starts with Jack Daniels.
The girl likes bourbon. Okay.
Well, I got some moonshine in front of me.
I want some of that, but I've not had some of that yet, which is weird because my great grandpa died tending a moonshine still.
Oh.
He got pneumonia tending the still one night and died from pneumonia.
Yep, and God bless his soul.
I know, right?
Lord. That was needlessly cruel.
I know.
I really want to, let's just say, put one in the backyard.
Joe Dog
put it
is
this way: if it's moonshine that you buy at a store, it's not moonshine.
This is 110 proof, so it's moonshine.
That's close enough to qualify.
Well, yeah. So is Southern Comfort, though, isn't it? I mean,
no.
No. Would you believe Southern Comfort is one of the most highly regarded liquors in England? Mm-hmm. People love that stuff over there.
I was say Southern Comfort's like what 80 proof maybe.
I don't care. It's good.
I was going to guess 60.
Yeah, it is
70.
I don't care. I don't
yeah,
care.
Throw it with some mix it with some Sprite.
No, I've not done that.
Mix it with some Sprite. Oh, you're good to go.
Oh, just as long as it's not Orange Crush, you're good to go.
I don't like Orange Crush anyway, so yeah.
Well, that was an
Farm, Strawberry Hill.
Oh, now you're taking me back to my childhood.
He about to make me have to turn on some BB King, Strawberry Hill.
BB King.
It was Blueberry Hill, not Strawberry Hill.
And that was Fats Domino.
Yeah, I got it all wrong.
You got to be careful making music references within the presence of the top row here, because
yeah, I know.
Chris and Bill and I lived through it, so.
Oh my God!
And I know Chris was
live could be a debatable word.
Yeah, we experienced it. Let us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I never. Well, that's one. I did not get to see Fast Domino. So.
Oh.
Didn't see him. I met Muddy Waters in Danville. I was at a guitar lesson, and his entourage came in to buy some buy a mixing board and some hardware. I forget what it was right now. And they said, we have somebody that'd like to use your restroom. We know you don't have a public restroom here, but could they use it anyway? And they said, okay. And he come walking in. And I'm like, son of a bitch, that's Muddy Waters. And they were the north-south, the Dixie Highway route from Chicago going down south. And you look outside and, yep. And so I shook hands with him. And I remember when he grasped my hand, I could feel the ends of his fingertips, and it almost felt like barbed wire. They were so calloused.
Mm-hmm.
Just awesome.
You play that long, that often.
Yeah, you need the protection.
You can put your finger through a concrete block without even trying.
No, that's especially the way he played.
Yeah. First concert I ever went to. it was accidentally because they were having it in Six Flags over Georgia as senior night, and senior classes all over Georgia were going to Six Flags, and they got to vote to see who they wanted to see in a concert. Chuck Berry.
Nice.
I got to within 8 feet of the stage to watch Chuck Berry.
Wow.
To say my eyes were opened is an understatement, but I already knew who Chuck Berry was and what he was capable of doing, or at least I thought I did. And then I got to see him play live, and I go, "Whoa! I did not know he could do that."
Well, there we go.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like Hank Williams Jr.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize like everything he can play. They just think he's a drunk, blah blah blah. But he can play every instrument: piano, banjo. I mean, everything. He can play every instrument.
And he can cook a pig in the ground too, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he can.
Definitely.
Well, I've already told my Little Richard story before about Little Richard sitting on the stage with us, and we were talking to him about John Lennon just passing away and everything. So I won't go into it again, but I will just say that I've never had, nor probably ever will have another experience like that with one of the founding fathers of rock and roll.
Well, that's because there ain't that many founding fathers of rock and roll.
Not much left. Nope.
Well, I'll tell a little story about Hank.
Lost Charlie Watts. I mean, good grief.
Yep.
A little story about Hank. You know, that tornado that hit Tuscaloosa in 2011. He came over to my neighborhood where my grandmother's house got hit, and he walked all the neighborhood by himself, and he shook everybody's hand and asked if anybody needed anything, everything like that. And when he came by my grandmother's house, which there wasn't nothing left, in that neighborhood, but I was like, "No, sir." I was like, "Don't need anything." I was like, "We're fine right here, right now." I was like, "Just pray for my grandmother." And he bowed. He grabbed my hand and my uncle's hand. Bill, you know that my uncle, the uncle that I told you about, that just had his kidney took out for cancer.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he was there helping me clean up stuff. He grabbed our hands and sat there and said a prayer with us. And to me, that was the best moment I ever had with him. So.
And you know that was real. That was not some publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Oh no, they wasn't.
He didn't have a camera following him around. None of that.
No, there was no cameras, nothing.
That was from the heart. That's one of the things that makes him who he is.
Oh yeah.
Man.
That cat done a number on you, huh, Chris?
It wasn't the cat. It was. I've got a laptop cooler plugged in, and it's plastic, and it's slick underneath, and my laptop's sliding.
Oh.
The cat's actually behaving now. I just had.
You got a lubed laptop.
I think it's just greasy.
Dan, we have breaking news.
Do we?
My tablet is now 5% charged since trying to mess with it at the beginning of stupid o'clock.
So by Thursday, you don't have a full charge.
It might be 30% by Thursday.
Bill, I'm gonna have to find you another charger there, buddy.
Well, what it was.
Oh, you mean
I think the reason why it stopped charging, I was using this J5 Create thing that has all the little ports on it, and I still got my headset plugged into it, and this thing here will not charge the way a regular charger does. And when typically when I'm using my tablet during Stupid O'Clock or Last Man Standing, what have you, even in the green room, I'm seeing a small drain on my battery of the tablet. It's not charging it up and keeping it charged by keeping it plugged in. And it never was that way, even just
stuff directly. As fast as you're using it with the camera and the
sure, yeah,
mic and the headset. Yeah, I've seen that with other laptops and tablets before.
So I unplugged the regular charger from that J5 Create thing and plugged it directly into my power strip and then into but it's still taking it's slow as a turtle right now. I don't know.
Bill, is it a 3.1?
Is it a what?
3.1.
3.1 what? I'm not following you.
Charger. There's different types of chargers.
I don't know.
The only thing I worry about is are they 3 amp, or are they 5 amp, or are they 7 amp?
Yeah.
The reason I said that 3.1 is a fast charger.
Yeah.
Well, I believe my charger for my phone is a 3.1. Which is what I got this phone plugged into right now. That comes directly from Motorola. But the one that I have that I'm using for the tablet is just a generic charger from Walmart or Myers, wherever I got it. So I'm not really sure. It's the one that you got to plug the block in separately into the cord, so whatever. But
I was about to say Motorola should fit.
The Motorola's on my phone. I don't have it plugged into the and my phone excuse me, my phone is the different it's a micro charger, USB, micro USB, to where the other one is not. The Samsung Galaxy Tab 7 tablet is not a micro USB.
Oh, that was cold. It was cold, bitch.
Did it
enough of that boring subject.
It did. It dribbled. It was cold.
What dribbled?
My drink.
Her glass of iced tea.
Yep.
That was
got a dribble glass.
Which, yes. Yeah, I watch Buckaroo Banzai at least twice a year. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm about to go get another beer and hit the restroom. Shall we play a Rising Tide advertisement video here?
Sure,
yeah,
yes.
I want to see this.
Okay, let me go here. I got to go back to brand instead of the chat. And, oh, Lord, I wish I could remember which one is which. I really don't want to play the one with the piano because it's put my ass to sleep shit. I hope this is the one with the guitar. guitar, but I didn't name. I named them 3 and 4. I didn't name them guitar and piano. I probably should have, but okay.
Just
Here we
close your
go,
eyes
and I'll
and
be
push a button.
right back. Welcome to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Here you will find a variety of shows which cover a wide array of interests. Welcome to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Here you will find a variety of shows which cover a wide array of interests, from comics to creativity, mysteries to mixology, and science to history. There's something for all interests at the Rising Tide. There are shows every day of the week, daytime and nighttime. So take a look at our schedule and see what appeals to you. If you're interested in comics, both independent and mainstream, check out Comics Chaos and Sass, or Comic Book Spectrum, or from the desk of a small press publisher. If you want encouragement and advice on furthering your creativity, we have Creative as Hail and Tidbits and Scribbles. If you enjoy mysteries and conspiracy theories, we have the Truth Mongers. If you're into interviews with up-and-coming talents, there is a TED Talks made just for you, as well as clever title pending. If you're into classic combat sports, there's the Historical Fencing Guild. And if you want to know what it's like to hang out with convention regulars, we have Stupid O'Clock and Last Man Standing. If you want witty repartee and fast-paced fun, check out Nevermind the Furthermore. If the science of rocketry and spaceflight is your thing, we have Armchair Rocket Science. But that's by no means all the Rising Tide has to offer. New shows will be added as they develop, so stay tuned. All Rising Tide shows share a spirit of mutual cooperation, under the philosophy that a rising tide raises all ships. Lightly ruled over by our comic ringmaster of mayhem, Brian K. Morris, we support and promote each other's works. What helps one of us to greater success helps all of us achieve even more successes. So look at the schedule, check out the shows, and we're sure that you will want to come back for more.
Nice.
I like
Thank
it.
you, thank you.
Very nice.
Oh, well, it took me about 4 hours to get one take with only 2 mistakes. So
That was pretty good.
I tried to do it the first time with each paragraph as a separate take, and then piece it together later. But the audio editor would not let me do that. It would let me do one take, and then it would delete the previous take for the next one. And I'm going, wait a minute, I had that saved as a separate file. It didn't matter. It just wouldn't let me do things. So I had to go ahead and do it the hard way. And I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. I hope that it helps other folks in the Rising Tide, take a bathroom break or whatever. That's
If
about
I knew
all
how to
it
use
is
that
to do.
stuff.
It's one of those in StreamYard, you just click on it. In other stuff, you share screen.
Well, I figured out how to do, when I do my tidbits and scribbles, I figured out how to edit the video so I can add the trailer Skunk made for me to the front or the back or whatever. So I figured out how to do that, but I have not yet figured out how to do like the live streaming thing and then bring something in. I think, because Joe Dog showed me how to do it, and I think I can do it, but I'm too scared to do it on a live stream and fuck it up.
You can always do a practice off, off screen.
Yeah, really. You don't even have to record it.
Yeah.
Are you using StreamYard to do the basic stuff?
I think so.
Well, okay.
If you got an account, you should be able to do it.
I was gonna say I just have an account. I have not paid for anything, so I have the basics.
Me either.
It's still there. You can still get to it even with the basic account without having to pay for anything extra. You've got some bandwidth. You can load it into if you go down like three icons over there on the right to the brand.
Yeah, like I can make a little thing scroll at the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
And I think if I upload the video first, and then while doing the live stream thing, then I can click on it and it will play it.
Yep, that's exactly what I just did. It's once you upload something in the brand section, it stays there. Now I don't know how many of them you can do with the free account.
Yeah, I don't either. So, and here again, it'll just have to be something where, like, I get a friend online and we just get live and we play with it. So I got to figure all the stuff out.
But if they won't let you do that, if you don't have access to the brand stuff because it is a free account, you can always do the share screen thing. And what you'd have to do is one of the places where I've downloaded it or emailed it to people. You got it on your computer, so you can do the share screen from your computer, wherever you get it stored. That's no different than one of us fleshing up a family reunion picture or something like that. Yeah,
and like I said, it's just going to take like a friend hopping on there with me and we're getting on live and just playing with it and being live. But I'm too scared to do that. As crazy as that sounds,
broadcast live to do it.
Right.
Yeah, you can set up a thing on StreamYard and go, oh, this is a practice section. We're not going to actually broadcast this, but here is a rehearsal broadcast, a recording, and go through it there with your friend online and whatever, and it doesn't take long to catch on. My biggest problem was, I've got to hit start show twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once to go, oh, are you sure? And the second time to go, yeah. Motherfucker, I'm damn sure. Start the fucking show. Yeah. Glad we're after midnight.
Yeah, no kidding.
Can't just put one foot in the water. You got to put both feet in, Dan.
Oh, you just got to take a run and jump off the end of the dock and dive in. That's what it is. And devil take the hindmost. Believe me, if I was afraid to do this stuff, I would never have gotten started. But
I was just afraid to put my lovely face on the thing because here again, remember we talked about bullying before? Because of that bullying, it's on loop in my head. What would other people think? What would other people think? Because my biological grandmother, that's what she would tell us kids all the time. If we were misbehaving or something, she would whisper to us, what would other people think if they saw you doing that or they saw you acting that way? Or you said that to someone. What would other people say? Or what would other people think? So that is on loop in my head. And it has taken Andy years to get that out of my head. So there's a lot of self-confidence that I had to build up to get to this point.
Well, yeah. And it's not an easy thing to build up, that self-confidence either.
No.
And you have to keep reinforcing it too, because there's days where you don't feel the confidence. You're like, no, maybe I'm an imposter. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe no one's listening. Maybe, So it takes a lot.
Yeah.
Or it's a continuation of ugly duckling syndrome you might have had as a child.
Well, can't imagine Michaela being anything less than absolutely drop dead gorgeous. But
honey,
yeah.
Oh no, it's horrible. No.
She's undoubtedly attractive and undeniably attractive.
Thank you guys, but no. They used to dress me in pink. I've had this color hair my whole life. They dressed me in pink, and my hair was fire engine red.
And there are some people I know. If you waved your fingers through your hair like that, they would have to
I know.
ban themselves and go offline for a few days.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
To each their own, but that was not the case for me growing up. So, and maybe it was. Maybe that's why all the boys picked on me, But
yeah, because you were unattainable.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you might have been that way to some. I'm not saying all of them, but some. I mean,
maybe. It's just funny that this day they're still buttheads,
Well, I mean, some people never grow up past their developmental stage in high school or grade school.
Oh, I know.
They still like you.
Apparently.
It's like I told somebody a long time ago. I said, "Look, I'm not going to win any beauty contests, but I don't think I'm going to win any ugly ones either." So I'm.
Hey, you got a club. You got a club on Twitch.
You got groupies, Chris.
I got bombs.
So shut up. I don't want to hear shit from you, Chris.
I could have those, but they closed down OnlyFans, didn't they?
Not yet.
No.
Oh, not yet. Okay, good. Maybe I'll start one.
And they're not closing it down. They're only stopping
the pornographic.
Well,
the pornographic
actually,
part.
they have come to their senses and they're not going to stop the porn. Because that is their only source of income, and if they close that down, they're going to lose everything. So
you can you can still show your titties and
Oh yeah, right. Like I have to wear a shirt to do this. I can't.
You guys aren't the only ones with the fans.
Yours isn't running right now, so.
Josh isn't either.
One back here.
Well, I'm not going to show them, but I've got 2 fans over across the other side of the room.
Don't tell me. Don't ask what I do in mine.
Well, Josh, I'm curious.
This is why I love doing this show, because people will say something and someone else will go, I call.
Yeah. I can top that, mother.
Well, the thing is, if somebody leaves you a great opening, you've either got to take advantage of it or you've sadly got to let it go.
That's one of the things that is the absolute hardest about every show not being the green room. And even in the green room, I have to self-edit because there are things that come to my mind that would get me tossed out of there because it's just too cruel. I mean, absolutely too cruel.
The one night I get to be on it, and it's mild.
Well, I was about to say, last night I would have been in there, but we had a
it was mild.
We had a date night last night with our neighbors.
Don't sneer at the date night thing. The date night can be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you could have had a date night at the green room, though.
That is the most important thing right there. Don't worry about anything online.
Yeah.
You taking care of business.
Yeah.
In the most important way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but if Josh had a date night in the green room, he could have entertained everybody else too, though. See,
but that's my job. I entertain everybody else.
Yeah. We were in defense for it being kind of mild. We were talking about an important subject, trying to make sure that Keisha was taken care of.
Yeah. And I think we've got that covered.
I was about to ask about that.
Yeah, we're looking at. There's a couple programs with the county that she lives in that they will come in and help with energy assistance. Ameren Silco, our energy company, they will help with energy assistance. Mm-hmm. Well, the hiccup there is that she uses that pellet stove. Mm-hmm. So the thing was she was having trouble finding pellets at an affordable price.
Mm-hmm.
I think we found them.
Good.
Well,
So, and like I told her, if need be, let us know, and we'll send you bags of them. Because a bag of...
I was telling Bill it's like $5 for 40 pounds.
Yeah, and she said they depending on the day, depending on how cold it gets, they might go through 3 bags a day.
Well, one bag was supposed to last 24 hours. Now, that all depends on the square footage of the home too. But
square
even
footage
at
of the
that,
home and the weather at the time.
The weather and the temperature they keep it, how drafty the home is. So there's all kinds of things that we're talking. Keisha and I are talking about, like winterizing the house, how best to do that, how what she needs to do between now and then, and the fact that like her little boy's bedroom is upstairs, but everybody else's bedroom is downstairs. Is there a way they can shut that off and close off the upstairs and only heat the downstairs?
Yeah.
So there's things in the works, and I think she'll be fine. I mean, if need be, I'll bring her here. I don't care.
Yeah. Well,
the thing is, if there's anything that we can do, we'd be more than happy, as long as we don't injure her pride in trying to help.
And that's the thing. I think now that the secret is out, basically, I think she's okay with it, knowing that we were all like, that's a problem that needs fixed. You need to say, hey guys, I need help.
Yeah. Especially when you have kids.
Right. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with asking for assistance when you need it. You're not asking for someone to carry you. You're asking for a hand up. Like, we just need a boost. We just need, and it's not like they don't work or they didn't work for a time. The only reason that they didn't have income for a time was because her husband got T-boned on his way to work.
Yeah.
So then they got behind in bills, plus they have doctor bills and lawyer bills, and and none of that is settled in court yet. So they've got nothing from that, and that was a huge thing where he wasn't working. So yeah, it's nothing that like they're just lazy and they don't work or
There's a big difference between a hand up and a hand out.
Yes.
Well, like Dan said, let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely will.
There's not anybody in the Rising Tide that I would not bend over backwards to assist if there was any way I could.
Well, and that's the whole thing with Rising Tide, is because each one of us is that way. If you need help, I'm there to help you. If I need help, you're there to help me. That's just how it goes, and how it should be.
That's how the group works. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole world should be that way, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the world sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it's not Rising Tide is when somebody is bullying somebody because they're either wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, or they've been vaccinated or not,
or haven't been, or
yeah. You don't do that.
Right.
That's not Rising Tide. Now, what that person did to your author friend, Michaela.
Oh my God.
Is definitely not Rising Tide. And people need to find out about what they did, because it has nothing to do with a belief of theirs. It's what they actually did that was wrong.
Right.
And they should be called out.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Because what business is it of yours if someone can be vaccinated, can't be vaccinated? If you're that worried about the situation, why did you go to the event? There's so many variables that.
Right. Well, I mean, if they believe in masks that much, if that woman or person was wearing a mask, it shouldn't bother her that much.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. There's so many variables there that you can't nail down this one author and say it's all your fault for this. And it's because you weren't as careful as you needed to be. Like, wait. Some of that responsibility is also yours. Mm-hmm. But to bully someone to the point where they give up their career, are you kidding me? Like, we're not in high school. It's one thing to make a point, make your stand, let people know how you feel. it's another to bully someone via private message, emails, and then have your fans and your friends do the same thing so that no one else can see what you're doing behind closed doors. Like, yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
And it's not even a situation where the offender should be named and shamed. It's a situation where the offender needs to be discreetly identified to people at other events so that they can be
wary of that person. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to find a better way of saying excluded, but you know, that kind of person is not someone whose ability is not anybody we want to invite to an event we want to go to.
Right.
I believe the term is persona non grata.
Yeah. Exactly. Now y'all know me. I mean, some of you have yet to meet me in person, but
we've heard of you.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard of you, but
his wife is as lovely as he says she is.
We've heard the rumors.
Yeah, well, nothing can be proved in court. I'll tell you that right now. There were no witnesses. I made sure.
Nothing on me either.
There have been a couple of times where you were in no condition to do anything.
Yeah, well, most of my
we've
life
all been
I've
there,
been in no condition to do anything, but you know, I will wake up.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
guys.
hopefully, all the kidding aside, hopefully, all the kidding aside, that the friend of yours, Michaela, she did not jeopardize her career by pulling out right now.
Well,
maybe she's just taking a break from it all.
She popped on tonight. We were all kind of worried about her because, of course, she made a post, a very dramatic post, and we were like, oh no, you know, we're all worried about her. We're trying to reach out to her. So she got back on tonight. She made a post that said, I would never harm myself. I'm just very frustrated. But I am pulling off of social media for a time to reevaluate and take some time for me. And I'm okay. And so we were like, okay, that's fine. Reach out when you need it. You know, we all left messages of encouragement. Yeah, we're here. You know, a lot of us reached out with, here's my personal email. Here's my personal phone number. Call me. I don't care.
I was about to say that's the best thing she could do, stay off social media.
Yeah, and sometimes you need that. I mean, even my author friend Amy Hale did that for a while. She made an announcement. She said, hey guys, I need some time. I'm going to take a little time. And she did. She got off social media, and that's what she needed. And some of us do need that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of creatives that constantly harp about, you know, you got to keep doing this. You got to have fresh content daily. You got to do this, do that. Well, you know what? People have lives beyond what you want to do. There's things you have to do. And that's like with me being absent from this show and Stupid O'Clock the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and Brian's show, commenting and tormenting him as I love to do. But I had an estate sale to work on.
You had to work on. Yeah.
Right.
And that's fine.
I was putting in 14 plus hour days, and
only
thank God
14
it was the last one of the year. But you know, I'll come back. But in the meantime, I had a lot of people, and Chris there was one of them, that reached out and said, hey, I haven't seen or heard from you in a few days or whatever. And I had several people say that, and I'm like, I'm fine. You know, I'm kind of busy with something.
Check on you, that they notice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I greatly appreciate it, because but you just, sometimes you get busy or whatever, and then you kind of forget your routines, and when you get away from the routines, that people wonder.
And there's another thing with us
They want
creative
that
types. We are sensitive to things that other people would blow off as if it were inconsequential. But to us, it's very consequential.
If I found myself like, I'll make a comment on someone's post, and if I meant it to be funny and they didn't take it as being funny, we had a misunderstanding. That's all it was. We talked. We realized, oh, that's a misunderstanding. No big deal.
Yeah.
But I will run that conversation through my head 1,000 times to make sure, how could I have said that better? Or where did it get off track? But it's with me for a week, 2 weeks, depending on how bad it was. Even though we resolved the issue, it's still with me. I'm still thinking about it.
And that's why you're a good editor.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I got another editing job tonight. That's what I was kicking away about. I was like, oh, I got one.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Because I got to get lots more of those. So, because the landscape season is winding to an end.
And the job is going to be left behind you. Yes.
And I get to be the full-time author editor.
And you're no longer going to be tearing your body up trying to do this damn job.
Oh my God, I know. I have a lovely scar on my neck there. I don't want another neck surgery.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I had a bulging herniated disc, which, come to find out, is hereditary. Who knew, right?
I was about to say.
It was.
I'm gonna pull a Dan well. I think it might be what I have in my neck right now.
Well, mine started with arm pain. Like, we thought I had tennis elbow. Because a lot of what I do is I pull a hose.
See, look, watch this. Well, you didn't hear it pop, but
no, but yeah.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah.
No.
So we thought I had tennis elbow. So we were treating it like I had tennis elbow. Well, then my husband was rubbing the back of my neck, and he come to this one spot, and I went, oh, God damn, that feels good. Oh, that's wonderful. And I was like, wait a minute, do that again. And he touched that same spot again, and my arm felt great. I'm like, okay, now don't move. Like, that's fine. Just whatever you're doing, don't move. And that was our first indication that it's a nerve in my neck, which makes sense because when I'm working, I spray with this hand and I pull hose like this. So my arm is twisted around behind my back, almost like you're handcuffed. But I've got a hold of that hose and I'm pulling. And that's why that arm's got so much muscle on it.
So you're handcuffed all the time?
Basically. I like it though.
Dream on.
Yeah. But we figured out that there's a thing right there in your neck. Well, so I thought, I did it because of my job, right? Talking to the surgeon, he said, no, it's hereditary. And to top it off, the MRI that I had showed not one, but 2 spots. So the one spot was bulging herniated disc. The spot just above it or just below it, I can't remember which, looked like it might go that way. He's like, it's fine for right now. He says, but you may have to have another surgery.
Yeah.
Well, say I've got fused disc in my back.
Yeah, I've got one right there.
It's the what is it? The very bottom ones.
T11 and T12.
Yep. Yeah, that feels real great.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what goes on there. And so with the day job going away, like it's not that I can't work. I just don't want to do a job where it beats me up anyway. Mm-hmm. And I've got this bulging herniated disc crap to deal with.
The thing is that you will no longer be injuring yourself just to make a paycheck.
Right. And even though that paycheck is fantastic, I can make money here. I don't have to leave my office to make money. The problem is I got to get the word out there that, hey, I do edits. Hey,
yeah,
I do edits. I sell books. Hello. But then at every con I have gone to, I've made decent money. So it's one of those, that's a viable option.
Yeah.
So that's what I got
Yeah,
to do.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's a different kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
It is, because if I can make in one weekend, whether it's 1-day event or 2-day event, what I can make in one paycheck that took me a week to make, why am I not working just the weekends?
And the rest of the week being creative.
Right, and writing those books and getting the content out there, or doing the edit stuff and getting paid for doing edit stuff, you know.
And what I have learned from my peers is the more books you've got out there to sell,
Yes,
the more regular your income will be.
Yeah.
Yes, it is really neat to see Amazon send you money instead of you sending Amazon money. That is the neatest thing.
Royalty checks are some of the most fun mail to get, let me tell you. Whether it's direct to your bank account or whether it's somebody that mailed you a slip of paper goes paid to the order of, I don't care what the amount is, it's still a thrill. It is an absolute. This is why you go, okay, I don't really want to be factory labor anymore. I want to do this, and
when I
other
had
people are excited about it. So
I had a family member of Andy's family. So of course not my biological family, but Andy's family reached out to me and said, "Where can I get your book?" And I was like, "You want my books?" And then one of his family members, she didn't even reach out to me. She just found out about it and went on Amazon and bought the books. And then she put it on Facebook that, hey, I bought this book and it's a really great book. And I was like, oh, she has my book.
Yeah, really.
And Andy says, honey, that's what we do. We support our own. I'm like, oh my God, my family doesn't do this. That's holy crap. And he's like, it's just
if
what
I
we
could
do.
get everybody in my family to buy one of my books, I'd be Stephen King tomorrow.
And see, this is what I thought about Andy's family, because he has a lot of family. So I was like, y'all listen. I love y'all. Can you just everybody just buy one book? Like, I don't think it's gonna work, but maybe.
You never know.
Right.
Buy the ebooks, I get paid better.
Well, when they ask you what you want for Christmas, now you know.
That is what I want for Christmas.
Buy some books. That's what
I will sign every one of them. Dang it!
You gonna sign it?
Just for you.
Yeah.
Yes. Hell, I'll use a Sharpie and sign whatever you want me to sign. Okay, buy my book.
I'll buy it.
Okay, but anyway, I'm gonna go fishing tomorrow, so that comes early, so I better go.
Yeah.
Good luck. Hope you catch it.
Thanks. I'm going after muskie.
Muskies.
Yes. The big one.
Never been in a while.
That's some nasty fish.
Sometimes. Damn thing ain't my video.
They fight
They're
really
probably
well.
a challenge to get, though.
They do. Oh my God, they're so much fun. Yes. So, yep, I'll see you guys later.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, Michaela.
Good night.
Thank you for being here.
See you, Michaela.
Yep, no problem.
You're welcome. Anytime we're running.
I can crash the boys club.
Oh hell yeah! It ain't no boys club.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See you later.
Good night. Oh, and Lord, yes. Just
10%.
Being able to help one another. That's the big thing.
What I say? A big family. I mean.
Yeah, the bigger the family, the more help we're able to give.
I mean, that's the way I talk about our weather group. I mean,
yeah,
we're a big family.
Well, the more people you got involved, the better the information you've got, and the better you can help somebody else. So, like, hey, over here, you live here, hunker down. Over here, don't worry about it. You'll be all right. It's going to pass you by. We hope.
Exactly.
But
well, my best friend Laura, she talked about improving yourself, and that she'd noticed several things. Well, I think this all kind of started back in mid-July when Ryan Permison interviewed me on his show, and I quote, and I could not be there to do that show on, I think it was Saturday, July 17th, because we were going to be in Chicago on that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I had contacted him earlier in the week and I said, hey, can we tape it and have you just air it on that day? He said, sure. He goes, I do this a lot with a lot of people because people are busy on Saturdays. You know, they're either at work or they're out having fun. And so, long story short, we taped it, went on our trip to Chicago. And when Laura and I were taking a break from our treacherous landscaping work up there that we deal with and going to be dealing with again on Tuesday.
Josh, I got your name.
I said, well, is your show on? And I said, well, I believe it's about over, but I can start it at the beginning because he had taped it, So anyway, watched about 15 minutes of it. And I was so totally embarrassed by the way I spoke, how I phrased my words together, and how many times I said, or among a few other ones. And I thought, this is hard. And I shut it off. I'm like, I can't listen to myself for another minute. And she said, well, I notice that you say a lot. And you usually end a sentence with it. So it's in a way that you're saying, when you're catching your breath for whatever you're saying next. And you say it more often when the quicker you speak. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. How do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she, my best friend is very attentive. She said, I could help you with this. And I said, how so? And she said, help you realize when you're saying it. And I'm like, that would be wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So the first thing she ever helped me with was a word that I have said since I was a young child in Cherokee. And
taken and tooken.
Yeah, tooken. I replaced the word, instead of saying taken, I would say tooken all the time. And that just some thing, North Carolina thing or something. And she called me out on it.
Every the dialect you grew up with, believe
right?
me.
Well, yeah, exactly. And saying it just there, I recognize that I just said twice. So, and that part of that is her helping me because the trip, 3.5, 4 hours that it takes to get up to where we're going, we sit there and talk, and she'll call me out on it. And I'll look, and sometimes I look frustrated, sometimes I look a little agitated, but I tell her I am not. I'm frustrated with myself. I'm agitated with myself, but not with her for telling me this. And I truly, truly am very appreciative that she would even take the time to do it. And I've actually called her out on a couple words and that, and and I won't go into it, but she appreciates that I did.
Yeah, so sometimes it's fun to get one little foot back in,
Well, and it's not like I'm doing it to get back at her, but it's nice to know that somebody else will have a problem with a word or two. And so since
grammar Nazis.
Mhm.
I can be a grammar Nazi. I see a lot of words. I was looking at somebody's profile on their Facebook.
You probably talking about me now.
No, talking about somebody I didn't know until I met last night, and the not mispronunciation, but the misspelling of the word that they used on their profile page. Mm-hmm. And I notice things. I don't call people out on it or anything, but
since the skunkiest ain't here,
he could
did. Well, okay. He did accept my friend request. So.
Oh, good.
I
mean, Kyle's a great guy. He really is.
Since he he called me out last night.
He can be a little bit sensitive, but he's young, and he thinks. Well, still compared to me, y'all are still a baby.
Yeah, I was about to say, me and him the same age.
Yeah. But,
he didn't like what I post, is what I heard.
Well, he is passionate and adamant
and outspoken
in his convictions and beliefs. And when you're that passionate and convinced of what you believe in, you tend to vehemently speak out against things that you believe or perceive to be diametrically opposed to that thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
He will do that in a heartbeat.
Well, back in the day, I would act the same way, and it's not like I'm being righteous or not like Skunk's being righteous or anybody else. It's just you said, when you're that passionate about something, when you have a little less control of yourself, you could apt to want to jump on the defensive when you hear somebody else saying it. And I know there was last night in the green room, we were talking about a certain somebody that Brian Morris was having problems with, and everybody was voicing their opinion about him. Yeah. And I think that's his thing, that he is a certain type of person, not too much unlike myself, but he tends to jump to the defense about things if somebody says something against something. So no matter if it's your politics or your faith or your favorite Superman movie, whatever, I don't care. You know, you could say, well, doggone it, Superman 78's the best one ever there was, and don't even talk to me about Henry Cavill or whatever, you know. And when I was in my 30s, that's how I acted. And now I can just quietly sit back and just, I know which one's my favorite Superman and which one's my favorite Batman and my favorite Doctor Who and whatever. And I'll sit back and listen to everybody else, because you learn from it so much.
Yeah, when you're secure in yourself, you can sit there and you can listen to people go, this is this and this is that and this is that, and you know, this is mine. Now, tell me about yours so that I can understand where you're coming from a little bit better.
And even if they're bashing yours, you don't have to jump up and say, come on, buddy. You know, let's duke it out. No,
yeah,
because then all that
you can just look at them and go, "Well, I disagree, but
yeah.
your opinion is still valuable. So, tell me more."
Well, and that's it. I mean, it's like it proves how much faith that you have in whatever it is, whether you're talking your favorite Batman movie, favorite rock group, or the president, or your favorite Ford versus Chevy, whatever.
I think it's even a tighter focus than that. It's not what your interests are; it's how secure you are in yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also you've got to consider how some people are so obsessed with them being right and everyone agreeing with them that they cannot handle or stand the thoughts of somebody having different viewpoints.
This is true. I've run into plenty of people like that.
And it's like that thing that you sometimes see on Facebook. People have forgotten they can agree to disagree on certain things and move on.
Here's my favorite little saying right here, if I can get it on the camera. Everyone is entitled to my opinion.
Yes. There's some that are insisted on it.
Yeah.
I have
Garfield is one of those things that pretty much defines modern life.
Well,
I'd love nothing better than to sleep all day, eat lasagna, and tell people they're wrong because they disagree with me, but that wouldn't be polite.
I have a lot of fellow artist friends, and some of them of my ilk, and then some of them who are actually worth a hoot, maybe worked for Marvel or DC or whatever on the comic strips and stuff like that. And
Bill, I've
seen a few of them.
Work. Stop putting yourself down. Just because you don't have your own comic book does not make you any less of an artist.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm going to do my own comic book one day. It's going to be a flip book. But anyway,
that is a right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are fun, especially if you got a little image on the bottom right corner that is an actual scene that either ties in with it or is different from it.
Yeah. No, what the point I was getting at had nothing to do with my artwork or anything. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that, let's put it this way. I'm friends with some well-known comic book artists, writers, producers, head of companies, and there are a few of them that are very much polar opposites as far as beliefs with mine. And a lot of them go out of their way to make it known on their page to do that. Well, once upon a time, I used to do that, and I just don't really care anymore. I've gone beyond. I can love their artwork and love them as a person, even if I don't choose a lot of their same beliefs.
Yeah.
Or it just really doesn't matter. And I have a good friend of mine that I've been friends with personally from the old neighborhood for about the last 45 years or more, that we are politically polar opposites. And we could engage in a very constructive criticism of each other's points of view, or very good argumentative discussions that we both enjoy. And we get in there and neither one of us have hurt feelings afterwards. And I feel that's the way it should be if you want to do it that way. But right now, I'm just tired of politics. I'm tired of a lot of things. And And if somebody wants to beat down my political views or my religion, whatever, go ahead. But if I see somebody trying to beat down somebody else, then that's a different story. And what Michaela was talking about earlier with her friend, that is definitely the exception to the rule right now with me.
That's something that pretty much every creative should be able to get behind. Don't be bullying people because of something that they have no control over, especially.
Yeah.
I'm not even opposed to somebody having different political viewpoints from me. Just don't try and press them on me and force me into believing everything that you believe in that I may not believe in everything that you believe in.
If you're persuasive enough, you might be able to convince me, but don't try and bully me into it.
Don't bully me. Don't talk down to me. Don't patronize me. Don't insult my intelligence. Bring it up in a conversational manner where you lay out your points, give your examples, and I may be moved to change my views on certain things. I may not be moved to change my views on them. But if you do it in that way, we're having an honest, open conversation in which ideas are being exchanged and nobody's getting hurt.
That's the important thing.
Nobody needs to get hurt.
No. It's not a win-lose situation.
Yeah.
This is what I think, and let me try and understand what you think, and maybe I'll change my mind, or maybe you'll change your mind, but it doesn't really matter as long as we understand each other as being perfectly valid, no matter what we think.
As I jokingly say, when MTV stopped showing music videos and started doing reality television, and Crossfire became popular because people talked over each other and didn't listen to each other anymore. That's the reason the decline of Western civilization is going on. I mean, there's more to it than that, but that did contribute to it, I believe.
That was a big illustration of what was going on. Yeah. I'll be right back. Y'all two just go right ahead. I'm not going to play another damn commercial, so y'all just occupy yourselves while I run off to the restroom.
10-4. We can handle that. I enjoyed
totally forgot about Crossfire. Sean Hannity, and now I can't remember his name. I had it on the tip of my tongue.
Shoot, I was thinking about the original one with Robert Novak and was it Roland Evans?
Oh, okay.
Well, I know Robert Novak, and then they've had several hosts over the years, but I was thinking back to the late 80s. I'm dating myself.
I wasn't. Yeah, let's say I wasn't politically motivated. I was, but
it wasn't as urgent then as it is.
Things were kind of smooth for a while, and then
they could actually still talk in Congress and get stuff accomplished by compromising, but it got to the point to where it couldn't work that way anymore because they refused to compromise.
Well, right now there's issues going on at the local schools here over in Champaign County.
Yeah.
They had an incident, they didn't have an incident, but people thought there was going to be one because of some social media posts and that said that at a local Urbana school that there was going to be a shooting.
Ooh.
Publicizing ahead of time. So the school went on the soft lockdown when they found out about it. And there's a lot of talk recently because of everything that happened last year. And talking about defunding the police, and that the Champaign and Urbana mayors and both of the city councils are very much not backing the local police force. A lot of the police were leaving. They don't want to work for a city who's not going to be there to back them up if they need it. And so currently right now, the Champaign Police Department is down 26 officers. And, you know, Champaign being the big university town, that's a blow to them. And anyway, so a lot of the schools are going without officers in the schools now, and people are saying, oh, well, the schools voted them out. And no, there's just not enough officers there. They're spreading them too thin now. And I said, if you want to put the blame on anybody, don't put the blame on the schools, don't put the blame on the police, put the blame on the people who didn't back the police and that. So I said, go straight to your mayor, go straight to your city council and aldermen, and remember them come election time. And I had my, this is a Back the Blue Oberheim 703. Oberheim is Chris Oberheim, and that's his badge number, 703. He was shot a couple months ago while responding to a domestic disturbance where a woman was supposedly fearing for her life from the boyfriend. Officer Oberheim and one of the other officers responded to the call, and when they were trying to get the suspect to come out of the vehicle, he pulled out a weapon, shot, wounded one officer, and killed Officer Oberheim. Officer Oberheim didn't even get a chance to draw his weapon, is how quick it was. They did release the video footage of the body camera, and it's very graphic. It's very disturbing. And after seeing somebody getting shot and killed, you can't think of things the same way, let alone the family.
Yeah, and you can see it.
So, you know, there's a lot of that going on around here right now, and it is really kind of stoked a lot of people up about defending their first responders, whether it is the police or the firemen or your rescue squad, whoever it is.
EMTs, paramedics.
Yeah, EMTs, paramedics. Because they all matter and they all put their life in danger every day.
Yeah.
But when you got, you know, certain organizations who are crying out defund the police and that, then, you know, now they have in the schools, since the police can't go there now, they have hired out private investigating firm out of Chicago. They call themselves a private investigating firm. They're basically security officers.
Yeah.
They're security guards is all they are. They're not armed. They cannot arrest or detain an individual. All they can do is what anybody else could do, is call the police. Now, because the Champaign Police Department is down 26 officers, unless the incident has involved an injury or fatality or a theft over $300, the police will not respond.
Wow.
They can't go to somewhere
Yeah,
and
they
then
can't spare
have
the manpower.
something serious happen
Yeah.
elsewhere. They have to go by their priority.
Yeah.
And that.
That's
So,
understandable.
but yeah,
It's
so
tragic, but it's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
they're
changing subjects, I enjoyed your Fat Albert illustration earlier.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, old Dumb Donald.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
somebody was saying, I thought that was Mushmouth.
it was me.
So no, I can't remember who it was now, but
It was me.
anyway,
It was
I had
me.
to find out. Oh, it was you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to find that picture of Mushmouth for you. And when
I
I
have
found,
to admit,
Because Donald talked faster than Mushmouth did.
I always got those two confused, even during the cartoon's first run.
Yeah.
Well,
well,
I
they
mean,
both wore
it
stocking
was
caps, but
it was a big cast of characters, and
mhm.
there were like 4, maybe 5 standouts that you knew without question who they were.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Well, obviously,
the rest of them were essential characters, but they were more of
secondary
background.
supporting. Yeah.
Yeah. Which doesn't make them any less valuable. It just means that they didn't have that many storylines.
Yeah.
For themselves.
Right. So,
and
like with Mushmouth, if you noticed when in the comments when I posted the picture of Mushmouth, I actually posted his full name too.
Yeah.
James Mushmouth Mush, and that was actually the full name of the character that you rarely hear.
Yeah, I appreciated the correction. You know,
But no, I love those, and despite what's going on recently with Bill Cosby and all that aside, I still believe that it doesn't take away from the good that was done with that cartoon series that was backed by the National Education Association too for but
well, the thing about Bill Cosby is his work on an artistic level stands on its own. Can't help the fact that he wound up being a disappointment to so many because of his behavior, which was
and a lot of people are.
Not.
And that was not his entire life.
It wasn't.
No.
That was just
how many disappointments are there in the Kardashian family? Yet you got people following them like they're saints.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel.
I don't get it.
I'm
some
kind of
people.
glad that the dad isn't alive to see all this crap.
Right. And
there
when you look into most
people that are famous for being famous.
Yeah, it's sort of like Paris Hilton. She comes from a family that made their fortune in the hotel industry.
Yeah, and
she basically had anything she ever wanted, and she basically wasn't required to
develop a personality.
Well, I'm pretty sure some of it was an act. I don't think she's quite that dumb, but the fact that she played that dumb.
And I will question that because she played that part so well.
Well, there's some people that are really good at playing parts, even being dumb.
Her and Lionel Richie's daughter.
Nicole, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if they used to have a show together, and once you were introduced to some of the things that they were saying to one another that were supposed to be off camera,
Well,
you
I didn't say.
got to wonder if they had an IQ point to share between the two of them. But
Yeah, well, like I said,
I can believe a lot of that might have been scripted. Yes,
she wasn't required, I think, to study as hard as maybe some other members of the family were.
Well,
And it's kind of sad because, she might could actually have developed some business acumen other than the popularity and possibly cosmetics or something like that, where she could have actually helped out with the business. But we'll never know now.
well, the thing is, when you were born with really outstanding advantages
Mm-hmm.
and you don't feel a responsibility to apply yourself enough to live up to the example that had been set before by your family.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's not necessarily criminal.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Well, and then on the other side, you got somebody like Drew Barrymore who came from, acting royalty,
Yep.
yep.
and she had her taste as a child actor, and did well, I believe, at least with E.T. and Firestarter.
Yeah.
I loved
Yep.
her in both of those movies,
Yep.
and
She proved she could actually work.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she could. And then you thought, well, she's getting away from it and that, but her little afternoon show that she has now is no worse than any of the other ones that are on there right now, and she seems genuine
Yeah.
in that show. I don't watch it every day, but I have watched it, bits and pieces of it on occasion, I guess, when commercials were on the show that I would have been watching or whatever, or if I was working and just had it on in the background. But
Yeah.
I mean, she seems genuine with what
Yes.
she's doing.
And she has her own businesses that have done reasonably well.
Mhm.
I mean, she's cute, she's smart, she's sweet, and she's a force to be reckoned with, so to speak.
She's come a long way from being spoiled.
Well, yes.
And the thing about her,
that is a starting point she was handed.
Yes.
right?
And she's overcome that.
Yes.
Yeah, and the thing is that you don't have to go just to the extremes on what you're wanting to accomplish in life, because, well, she could have stayed in acting, or she could have gone behind the camera and been a producer or a director or whatever.
And she might yet. She's still young enough. She might yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, she, I don't know what people thought of the Charlie's Angels movies, but
and
but she really didn't.
She may yet decide that, well, I'd rather act than direct, or I'd rather act than produce, and all she needs is one script that lets her shine.
Well, I will tell you a movie that I think she's underrated in. Most people probably won't care for it because of her co-star, but because he's polarizing to some. But if you've ever seen the movie 50 First Dates, she's absolutely adorable in it.
Yeah.
Her co-star is Adam Sandler. Like I said, he doesn't appeal to some folks, but it is actually a cute movie, and Adam is actually tolerable in it.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised to find out that Adam Sandler is not the idiot that I thought he was.
No, but he's good
Yeah,
at playing
but
goofy
I
screwball.
admit that. I admit that. There are people that I would not watch their movies because stupid is not a character trait that I want to observe, to watch in a movie. There are people that play really, really dumb people, and come to find out they're not in real life dumb people.
Lloyd Bridges, Airplane.
Oh yeah, but I had grown up with Lloyd Bridges being serious in lots of stuff, so that's
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. Forbidden Planet. Yeah, I knew that long before any of the police squad stuff.
I actually didn't realize that Charlie Sheen had a sense of humor till I started watching Hot Shots.
Yeah. Oh God, there was a movie that came out. God, it's ages and ages and ages ago, and it was so hilariously funny, and I didn't realize that the lead actor was somebody who got typecast in other stuff as if not a romantic lead, then a romantic supporting character or something like that. And they actually demonstrated a great sense of humor in being able to play this totally goofy part straight, as if they were the Costello to somebody's other Bud Abbott. So I can't remember it right now. It's just totally slipped my mind.
Can't remember anything about it.
Well, it's one of those things where somebody had been typecast as something else before, and then you watch this bit.
If you can tell me any of the plot, I might be able.
They've got a range. They've got a well. It was a comedy. That's all I can remember at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you a movie that showed that Tom Hanks could be serious because he was used to so many being in so many comedies.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Bosom Buddies and then Splash and all that. But there's a movie called Nothing in Common with him and Jackie Gleason in it. I'm like, holy crap, he can actually act.
Yeah. Yeah. And
one of my favorite ones that he was in was the one he directed, That Thing You Do.
Yeah.
Where he was playing the manager of the little one-hit wonders group.
Yeah.
Well, I got aggravated at Bill Murray because he was so good at comedy and he decided he wanted to be serious all of a sudden. And he didn't decide he wanted to do comedies again until one who played Egon in Ghostbusters and Russell in Stripes. I can't think of his name at the moment.
Harold Ramis?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure.
When he passed away, Bill Murray decided he wanted to do a comedy again, and I'm like, man, you couldn't have come to this decision before your buddy died.
Yeah, really.
Well, people have to find their way.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he was good as a serious actor, but he was so damn good at comedy.
True. And
well, it was like Michael Nesmith touring with the Monkees again, because he would not ever do it. It was so few and far between that he would even jump out there and play a song with them. And but then after Davy Jones passed away, then he's kind of
he's doing a farewell tour with Mickey Dolenz because there's only two left.
Yeah, and when Peter Tork passed, I think Mickey and Mike both got really a come to Jesus moment and go,
Yeah.
Look, we both had careers that didn't involve this, and we've both done amazing things after we did this, but now it's time to step back and do this again for the fans
and enjoy it this time.
Yeah, and have fun with it. And for a lot of people, that's the point that gets overlooked or left behind when they step out of that particular bit, is all the fun that could have been, that now they've got the emotional security and I'm reaching for a word here, but I don't know exactly what it is. But now they can do it without fear of being typecast. I think that's the best way of saying it.
And also, they don't feel the pressure that they would have done at an earlier point. I tend to associate that with Coming to America too. You know, they waited a long time. You know, they could have made a ton of money if they'd have waited about, 5 or 6 years afterwards. But instead, they waited about 20, almost 30 years afterwards.
Almost 30 years, yeah.
And
and
it was actually pretty good. It wasn't great, but it could have been a lot worse. I was pleased with what I saw.
Look at the fandom demand for another Beverly Hills Cop movie.
Oh yeah.
And here they are attempting to put it together, and they're trying to reach back to the surviving original cast members,
which there's not a lot of. The older detective is gone, and Bogomil, Ronnie Cox, is dead.
But they're still making a valiant attempt to
Judge Reinhold's still
figure out a good script so that they don't look like they're cashing in on something that they once did that was right. But here is going to be something worthy of being a sequel to their original work.
And hopefully Bronson Pinchot will have another cameo.
Yeah.
Because he was hilarious, because they improv'd every scene that he did.
Well, yeah, that's the way he works. But you hand him a script, and it's like, here's some suggestions. We'll film whatever you do and edit whatever we like into whatever we release.
I'll tell you another actor that I don't think was given enough credit because he came in to acting late in his career, in his professional life, was Alan Rickman. He, he played the Sheriff of Nottingham in the Robin Hood with the guy that kept talking an English accent. Of course, he was definitely charming and cruel as Hans Gruber in Die Hard.
Yeah.
But one of his, and of course, he was beloved by many children that have grown up now as being Snape in the Harry Potter movies. But a very underrated movie of his that I enjoyed, where he played an eccentric artist who was helping a detective, was called January Man. That had Kevin Kline in it and Mary Elizabeth Mastrano, I think.
Now, I'm not familiar with that, so you're going to have to tell me a little bit more so I can.
It came out in the around 87, 88, 89, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The January Man, and he's an eccentric artist, but he's got some type of ability to piece things together that the detective will go and by him where he's doing his artwork and all that, and he will tell him some stuff, and he'll give him a clue that helps piece some of it together, and he'll go back out and gather more data and info and all that, and he'll keep going back to him.
Mm-hmm. So
It's a very fascinating movie.
You've got somebody with a strange, well, not strange, and a non-typical way of thinking who is an artist.
Yeah.
And a police detective goes, this guy can think his way through a brick wall. Let me go talk to him and see if he can give me a pointer on something that I'm overlooking because I'm vanilla.
And Kevin is actually funny in this movie because, I mean, he's kind of playing it straight, but he has some comedic moments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, he was later in the movie Dave where he's playing an actor that looks like the president and he's covering as the president. And I think he was in A Fish Called Wanda too.
Could be. Now, I was just. I have not seen the movie you're talking about. I was just freewheeling and speculating as to what that possible plot could have been.
Well,
I don't know if I got anywhere near the mark.
Actually, I think you, if you weren't very close to it, you weren't far from it. But I think you would enjoy the movie.
I probably would.
Because it's
just,
got some action, but it's cerebral too.
Just because I never heard of it doesn't mean I wouldn't like it if I actually got a chance to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but never watched it.
Now, another movie that a serious actor that sort of became an action guy for a while is the movie Split Second.
No, I remember that title.
Rutger Hauer is a detective in London, and there's an alien that is killing people, and it looks like a serial killer. And there's speculation that it may be Jack the Ripper or, you know, and all this stuff's going on. And he's got this sidekick who he doesn't really want, who's a young, you know, overeager, anxious young officer that, you know, hasn't been out of training too long. And Kim Cattrall is the interest in the female that the alien eventually starts closing in on. So there's your eye candy.
Hey, if I was a stalker, yeah, she'd be a fun target. Yeah.
You know what movie I remember her in?
Porky's, Miss Honeywell.
When I think of Kim Cattrall, I think of Porky's.
Yep.
I actually think from the Star Trek movie.
She was so funny. Well, I remember her from Star Trek movie, but she was so funny in Porky's for such a stupid B movie.
Yeah.
And there were so many funny parts in there. And but
it's sophomore humor. What do you expect?
Yeah, well, you know, it's kind of like National Lampoon's Animal House and whatever.
Yeah, she played the part to a T.
Yeah, well,
but
there are a lot of actors out there that are criminally underrated because they get these I don't want to call them character parts, but they're not the featured parts.
Yeah,
but they're
they get some
supporting.
nice
They're
eye candy.
supporting cast.
Yeah.
They get some nice eye candy.
Yeah.
Well, you
she was
talk
also
about
in Police Academy.
yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
on that note, people, it's 2 a.m. here
Yep, I was
in
just about to say
Illinois,
we've
and
gone a little bit over 2 hours, and I have stuff my wife wants me to do tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I'm not up for a 6-hour show. So.
No, I'm not either.
me either.
But I
last
love
night took a lot out of me.
I love hanging out with you guys, and we could do this forever, and I'd still nod off on you. So
yeah.
Well, I look forward to Hallowcon, Dan. I'm sure we'll have something to talk about before it's all said and done with.
If we can't wind up sitting there and trading non sequiturs for about 6 hours, while both of us are trying to figure out what the hell we're supposed to be doing, and
well, I look
going,
forward to.
Hey! What do I pay you for?
I look forward to Stupid O'Clock next Thursday, and maybe my tablet will be charged by then. By the way, it's up to 20% now, so woo.
Yeah, I think Thursday's a good target for that.
Hey, it might be up to 50% before tomorrow's over with.
Oh, I'll tell you. I don't know what happened to it because I didn't use it at all today, and of course I used it in the green room last night, and I just left it alone. Well, this whatever the heck it's called, J5 Create thing that I had everything all plugged into, it just, I don't know if maybe it come unplugged a little bit from that or what the deal was, but it just, I've never seen it go completely down to 0% to where it wouldn't even turn on anymore.
Sometimes those things, they might have a particular port that for some reason ceases to function, or if you've got multiple things plugged in at once, it may not get all the juice to the right ones.
Well, I think I've kind of figured out from now on that I'm just going to plug it directly into just my charger and plug that into my power strip.
Yep.
And not even plug in this other thing until I'm ready to go on Stupid O'Clock or this show or Green Room, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that to where I'm using my headset. I mean, the only reason why I have that thing anyway to begin with is because there's no earbud jacks anymore in the Samsung products.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I will use this second to say goodnight to the both of you, and always a pleasure to talk to both of you, and thank you both for. I do see everybody that likes and comments on my artwork and that, and they're greatly appreciated, and I do try to respond to everybody, and that I just don't want anybody to think that I don't see it, because I do.
Hey,
and so
life is busy. Well, I understand. I'm just glad that you do the stuff, as I enjoy it and keep doing it.
Well,
and it's always a pleasure to have both of y'all.
And I'm posting old pictures right now simply just because not everybody saw them the first time around. So I know to a lot of people it's new to them. But I'm going to start doing new stuff again.
There's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate the old school stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
really.
gonna. Well, as far
It's
as
a history lesson. This is what I used to
Yeah.
do. This is what I'm doing
yeah,
now.
yeah. So anyway, but both of you have a good evening, and
You
hope
did
you
You
have a
fine.
too.
great
You too.
rest of the weekend that you do. And
I want to thank both of you for sticking around this long, and it's always
It's
the
fun.
highlight. It's the highlight of my week to be able to sit here and have conversations with people where there
same here.
are, there's not many rules, and there's absolutely no restrictions, and we can say stuff and do stuff and speculate on things and figure out some kind of twisted logic that makes things that we enjoy make more sense than what it used to before we got started talking.
And possibly rediscover some stuff we forgot about.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that y'all know about that I have never experienced before, and vice versa. There's things that I've run across in my life that y'all might not have had a chance to be corrupted by.
Most definitely. Sometimes I refer to my experiences as a younger person as an old Joan Jett and the Blackhearts album title, "Glorious Results of a Misspent Youth."
Yeah, really. As long as it's not, I hate myself for loving you.
yeah.
Yeah, but she looked pretty damn good in that era.
Oh, she does.
Unfortunately, she's had
She
too much
still
work.
looks good.
Yeah, but she's had a little bit too much work done
Oh
on her
Yeah.
no,
face.
I haven't seen anything to judge from that. So,
But she was about perfect in the face back in that era.
oh, she was about perfect everywhere back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, but especially the face. You can tell she probably had a little bit too much skin pulled tight.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm not complaining. She is entertained for decades now, and hopefully she'll continue to do so.
Mm. Talent will out. And let's hope it will out for a long, long time, no matter whose talent it is.
Absolutely. Well, y'all have a great night. Thanks again. I enjoyed it. And until next time,
Thank
Vaya
you very
con
much,
Dios,
gentlemen.
amigos.
bye con Dios.
Love you, and I mean that absolutely, and not in this kind of I love you sincerely way, but no, y'all are fantastic, and thank you very much for being here. Now, let me see. I've got to go to this subdirectory, and we will go ahead and play the other advert before I hit the end titles. But doing this show is a lot of fun because there's nobody to tell me I can't do it. And there's nobody to tell people here that they can't say that, they can't, they're not supposed to have that sort of opinion. That's not going to be popular. And basically, so if if it's something that we can have an intelligent discussion about, that no one gets outraged over, and in some cases, even if they do, and we go ahead and have the discussion anyway, this this is a meeting of the minds, and I am privileged to have so many absolutely excellent minds to meet with. Now, there are a lot of people that have not yet made an appearance on the show that I wish they had the time to do it. It's, not everybody can stay awake all damn night. So there is that. But I want to thank Michaela for being here, and I want to thank Josh for being here, and Chris, as always, because he's one of those people you'd be proud to call a brother. And how can I keep going? Bill is just one of those talents artistically that comes across just maybe twice in a generation. And he sounds country as all get out, but there is a serious analytical mind in there, and people don't give him credit for that. They just hear his voice and go, "Oh, here's a hick," and no, we're talking. This man can seriously go through a lot of information and references and knowledge that a lot of people have not bothered to accumulate. And he's done it just by being him. So, and thanks always to Joe Dog to give me a chance to do these after show thingies, because there's not always folks that want to stay up late after a stupid o'clock, and you'd think that we were able to cover almost everything anybody wanted to be covered in a Thursday night or a Saturday night show, but then there's always those little bitty things that pop up as, we didn't go into this in too much depth, but here, let's try it here. And sometimes it works, and sometimes we go, no, let's change the subject. But I don't know why I'm still blathering on. Let me play the advert, and I'll just sign off and go home. I'll just sign off and let y'all get some sleep. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for, if you're a fan, being a fan. If you're just discovering us, thank you for giving us a few days of your time before we shut up. And usually that's my fault. Long-winded bugger I am. Let's roll this beautiful bean footage. Welcome to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Here you will find a variety of shows which cover a wide array of interests, from comics to creativity, mysteries to mixology, and science to history. There's something for all interests at the Rising Tide. There are shows every day of the week, daytime and nighttime. So take a look at our schedule and see what appeals to you. If you're interested in comics, both independent and mainstream, check out Comics Chaos and Sass, or Comic Book Spectrum, or From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. If you want encouragement and advice on furthering your creativity, we have Creative as Hail and Tidbits and Scribbles. If you enjoy mysteries and conspiracy theories, we have The Truth Mongers. If you're into interviews with up-and-coming talents, there is a TED Talks made just for you, as well as clever title pending. If you're into classic combat sports, there's the Historical Fencing Guild. And if you want to know what it's like to hang out with convention regulars, we have Stupid O'Clock and Last Man Standing. If you want witty repartee and fast-paced fun, check out Nevermind the Furthermore. If the science of rocketry and spaceflight is your thing, we have Armchair Rocket Science. But that's by no means all the Rising Tide has to offer. New shows will be added as they develop, so stay tuned. All rising tide shows share a spirit of mutual cooperation, under the philosophy that a rising tide raises all ships. Lightly ruled over by our comic ringmaster of mayhem, Brian K. Morris, we support and promote each other's works. What helps one of us to greater success helps all of us achieve even more successes. So look at the schedule, check out the shows, and we're sure that you will want to come back for more. What? You're still here? Go home. Show's over. Go to bed. Seriously. Good night. Just clock out. Log out. Y'all are desperate for entertainment if you're still here at this time. But I love you anyway. Thank you very much. You're on your own. Good night.